Hi everyone, I'm Michael Olukerede, founder and executive director of the Mikaelson initiative. Today is a special day for us because we are finally unveiling the first official website built entirely by our in-house engineering team. A team that sacrificed sleep, data, sanity, and maybe one or two laptops, but we made it. Before we dive in, I want to remind us what the Mikaelson initiative truly stands for. We're a mission-driven non-profit organization dedicated to building for Africa through technology backed by community. Everything we do is centered on helping Africans, especially young people, become more productive, more disciplined, and more empowered to build meaningful lives and meaningful solutions. Our work is simple but powerful. We create systems, communities, and products that help people grow mentally, technically, professionally, and personally. And this new website is a major step in that mission. Our work is simple but powerful. We create systems, communities, and products that help people grow mentally, technically, professionally, and personally. And this new website is a major step in that mission. Let's dive into why the website matters to the mission. This website is not just online presence, it's the digital home for our movement. It reflects our commitment to structure, clarity, impact, and accessibility. It allows people to understand who we are, what we do, and how they can grow with us. Most importantly, it serves as the central hub for our programs, our community structures, our events, and our long-term mission to build Africa's next generation of thinkers, builders, and leaders. Let's talk about our goal. Our goal is simple. We are going to make productivity, discipline, and personal growth accessible to every young African, no matter their background, no matter their starting point. This website is designed to help people find their path, join the right communities, access the right tools, and build consistency in a continent where opportunities are not always evenly distributed. I couldn't be prouder of the engineering team behind this. They didn't just build a website, they built a statement. A statement that we have the talent, we have the passion, and we have the commitment to build world-class solutions from right here in our community. Every line of code, every design iteration, every late night, every crash and bug fix, all of it reflects the spirit of the Mikaelson initiative. This launch sets the tone for everything we're building next, from our growth systems to our product under Mikaelson Labs, to our evolving community structure. We are not here to participate in the ecosystem, we are here to shape it. And this website is just the beginning.
Hello, I am Mikaelson and I'm the product management lead at Mikaelson Community and Tech Initiative. It is so beautiful to lead my team, very wonderful team. I'm so proud of my team. I've been a product manager for going to 5 years now, and also a product manager, and also I have a great experience in customer experience and customer service, and transitioning into product management was like divine because I saw a gap in translating people's pain points, users' struggles into a defined set of essential product that gives them value. And that was one of the things that drew me to product management, and I'm so lucky to have the team that I'm leading. They are an exceptional team. I ensure that everyone is aligned with our product vision, with the roadmap, with how we are going to build our products, and it has been beautiful so far. And building a product is not easy because you have to consider the users, the people you are building for. You have to consider the team. What are your capabilities? What is feasible, to be able to build that product, and also the management, the business goals. You have to wrap all of this together to ensure that okay, can we build what we are building? And that's one of the things that make my job very interesting. So I'm happy to lead my team. I'm happy to be able to give back to the society, to be able to build things that are essential, that will bring value to the world at large. Yes, let's reach out to the world. I'm happy to be able to impact the life of the African youth, and that is one of the key things on what we are using our Mikaelson initiative. We are targeting the youth. We are targeting youths that have issues with procrastination, youths that have issues with time management, youths that have issues with seeing their progress. Youths that are usually burnt out, and we're trying to tell you, hey, you can actually be able to achieve your goals without you being burnt out. We can help you to be able to track your progress. We can help you to be able to track your productivity and tell you, hey, you're actually doing well. So that is one of the things that make me happy and give my job a sense of purpose, give my role a sense of purpose, because I'm actually impacting the lives of people. And I'm so glad to be able to build products that impact the life of people and give people value. And also, when we started building our Mikaelson initiative, there were a lot of ideas everywhere. A lot of ideas. Okay, let's do this, let's do that. But we all sat down to see what is feasible and how should we go ahead to start. And then we conducted user surveys, to understand users' pain points, their struggles, and also understood the market and see how we can compare what our users are facing with what the market is saying and what we actually want to build together. And when we merged it together, we came up with a beautiful product that will amaze you. So I can't wait for you all to see what we are doing at Mikaelson initiative. It's going to blow your mind, and the youth we are coming for you. You are going to be amazed at the value that we are bringing to you. So I want you all to watch out for us. I want you all to keep your minds open and look out in our space at the amazing things that we are bringing for you. Cheers.
Hello everyone, I'm Mikaelson and I'm part of the front end team at Mikaelson initiative. So in the world of product development, there's this common misconception that front end is just basically building what has been designed in Figma and slapping some CSS onto it and you call it a day. But the truth is, front end is actually more than just that. At Mikaelson initiative, we believe front end to be the nervous system. So it's where back end logic meets human perspective. If the front end fails, even the most powerful back end in the world is invisible. So there is no way you can view the logic behind it. So my role isn't just about pixels, it's about engineering trust. When a user interacts with our platform, they should not have to think about the code. They should view the interface as an extension of their own intent. Today I'm going to break down how to bridge the gap between moving from raw implementation to a polished, high-performance ecosystem. Implementation starts long before I even open VS Code. So it starts with data architecture and what happens, knowing what happens during the loading states. How do we handle partial success? How does the error states look like, and so on. So for a junior dev, they build for the happy part. That's when the data is perfect and network condition is actually very good. So, but at Mikaelson initiative, we engineer edge cases. We use a modular approach, which means every feature is usually broken down into like several components, smaller components. So this makes the code base easier to maintain and debug. If you change data in our backend, our front end is built to react to it instantly, and this shows that we're not just building pages, we are actually building resilient living organisms. So now let's talk about responsiveness. In 2025, I feel like responsiveness is the bare minimum, and as Mikaelson initiative, we strive to make our platform responsive for all devices, for any operating system, any screen size. We make it look well on every device without having to install something else or having to make extra implementations. So now responsiveness, we all know, is not just about writing some few media queries and leaving it. At Mikaelson initiative, we use this fluid typography, and flexible grid systems that allows the UI to actually have space to breathe. So a dashboard just needs to be as powerful as it is on a 13-inch MacBook to a 49-inch ultra-wide monitor. So we also consider context of use, because when someone uses mobile phone, for example, now we do not just view them as being on a smaller screen. The person might be in a completely different environment. For instance, someone on a mobile device, the person might be on the work. You cannot use your system on the work, so you actually would be using your phone. So I would consider all this stuff. So the person might be on the work, the person might be using one hand. So we adapt touch targets, we simplify navigations, and we prioritize these critical actions. So we don't just shrink this desktop size, we re-architect the experience for the palm of your hand. If a user has to pinch in to see a text or a button, then that's not a feature, that's a bug. Now, one of the visible parts of my work is actually handling interaction and animation. So people often ask me, why do you have to add this animation? Isn't this just a fluff? But the thing is, as Mikaelson initiative, every animation actually serves a function. Now, for example, now on the mobile screen, navbar is on the right side of the screen. So when you click it, it slides in from the right. So when you want to close it, your brain instinctively tells you to go to the right, to check the right side to close it. So that's it. We use all these small changes to signal state change, and that way we make every animation actually counts. The junk animation that doesn't help user understand what's happening do not make the cut. We focus on micro interaction, the soft transition, in overstates, the way a modal scales onto view, and all this subtle animation. These details are what makes Mikaelson initiative feel premium. So it's the difference between a platform you need to use and a platform you want to use. Now let's get to the part of my job that you cannot see, but you can definitely feel, and that's the performance and accessibility. So a beautiful UI is worthless if it takes like 5-6 seconds to load. So I spend a significant amount of time at Chrome DevTools, hunting for all these unnecessary renders and optimizing bundle sizes. So we use code splitting and lazy loading to ensure user only downloads what needs to be downloaded at that particular point in time. So at Mikaelson initiative, time to interact is actually a core metric. Speed is nothing without access. We know that. So accessibility isn't a feature that we add at the end. It's something that we integrate into the very, very first line. Imagine someone that is navigating using maybe like a screen reader or using keyboard, for example. Now the person has to have the same high quality experience as a sighted user, and if our interface is not accessible to everyone, then it isn't finished. So we build for empathy, ensuring that no user is left out because of just a technical oversight. I will talk about efficiency, because efficiency at Mikaelson initiative comes from our commitment and modularity. So I don't believe in repeating myself. I spend a large amount of time building and maintaining our internal components library. So this way, we are creating usable components, inputs, cards, and stuff. This ensures our UI stays consistent across all pages, across the entire platform. This modularity allows us to actually scale, because when we need to launch a new feature, for example, now we don't have to build from scratch. We already have proven and tested building blocks. So but the real secret is actually for the speed is actually in collaboration, because I work with amazing people like Sebastian and others. So we work hand in hand with our designer to ensure our design tokens are synced, and our backend engineers actually define strict API contracts. So we speak a shared language basically. The synergy means we spend less time fixing misunderstandings. It works on my it works on my screen. It doesn't work. Sorry, it works on my device. The problem is on the front end. No, the problem is on the back end around these types of arguments. So we actually spend more time shipping value instead of having all these little misunderstandings. So at Mikaelson Initiative, we don't work in silence. We work as a single cohesive unit. So we work as a team. Now, front-end engineering is a game of millimeters, which means it's an obsession with the details that matters the most, that people will probably never consciously notice, but everyone will subconsciously feel. You are using the platform and you're having this feeling that, you'd never have to think about the code behind it, that what did this person do here, this person should have done it this way. So it's about the feeling that most people would never consciously notice, but would obviously subconsciously feel. So my goal as a front-end dev at Mikaelson Initiative is to ensure that every pixel has a purpose, every interaction has a reason. So we are bridging the gap between human intent and digital execution. So if you are a developer thinking about coding pages, and so just start thinking about engineering experience instead. If you're a user, just know that every click you make on our platform has been optimized for your success. So we at Mikaelson Initiative, we are just getting started. So let's build the future one component at a time. Thank you.
Hi everyone, Olujimi, data analyst and newest member of the team. My mission is very simple. Tell the team what users actually do and not what they think they do. Because let's be honest, feelings are great, but data is greater. I'll be looking into user behavior, how they interact with our platform, what they click, what they ignore, and the features they pretend don't exist. My job is to transform those numbers into clear insights and help make smarter decisions. Think of me as that guy that translates numbers into actionable English. Analytics is important now and for the future because it helps us stop guessing, start improving, and avoid making the wrong things beautifully. I'm excited to work with everyone and even more excited to let the data do the talking.